welcome, miracle makers. Welcome to season 4 and welcome to Psychological Upgrade. I am so excited that you are here. What an extraordinary time for us to be together in this incredible world that we live in. Last week, Kitoto, if you just watched that video, you saw that Kitoto came into studio. My co-star, Kitoto Sunshine Love. Welcome, honey.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
You shared an incredible story, which is, oh my gosh, you were going through so much last week. Can you share what was happening for you last week?
Last week I was in the interim of switching from one medication to the other, and it not only felt like I wasn't on any medication, but it felt like I was withdrawing from the medication that I was previously on. So, my body I had the shakes a little bit. I was very, very nervous. I had a lot of anxiety. My face wouldn't do what I wanted it to do.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was felt like inside, like all throughout my body. And so talking to people, looking them in the eye, coming to work and getting on camera, smiling, looking at the camera, these things weren't easy. And I knew that it was evident. And then so your head starts going, oh, what are they going to think? They think this, they think that. And then when you get into that space, you get even more into the what do people think kind of panicked, racing thoughts. And that's when it's really important to speak up and say, okay, wait a minute. Nope, stop. This is what's happening, Dr. Larsen. This is what's going on. I'm experiencing this because I'm coming off my medication. I'm on a new medication. It takes weeks to kick in. This is how I feel. This is what's going on in my head. And I really do have to say that, because if I don't say that, I can get lost in what's going on in my head. And then that's never a good place for me to be, because my head isn't always correct, especially in a situation like that. And I did say it, my medication is my partner. And there I was on that seesaw. And anybody that's been on a seesaw knows. They know that when you're on that seesaw and somebody's about to get off, you don't want to be the one up in the air, because you're going to slam right down.
Slamming right down. Oh my gosh. And so last week was such a tough week, but you did great on air. No one would have known.
I had no idea. My head was racing so badly with so many thoughts of, you were looking down when you were listening to the people, and your eyes were blinking, and, all this stuff, and you didn't look at the camera, and you didn't smile, and, all these things were going through my head. But I went to Dr. Larsen. I told her everything that was going on with me. She took me, she said, you're coming home with me. And that's what you need to do. You need to find a close friend who you can talk to, or this is what I suggest, is you find a close friend that you can talk to. And she suggested immediately that I call my medical provider. And I did. I called my nurse practitioner, and I have the best nurse practitioner ever. I have prayed for somebody like this to be in my life. She's completely understanding, and she contacts me back. She contacts me back, and that's a really big deal, when you're going through something and they're like getting back to you in 1 or 2 business days, not always easy, right? So definitely to have somebody who got back to me that night and within 20 minutes. And she told me, she said it was an uphill battle. I was on a journey, that it wasn't going to be easy, that we were in a certain stage of it. And she told me what to take, and she was going to cut down on the new medication because it had a side effect. And so this is what happens when you have a psychological issue. You go from one medication and maybe to the next, and they tell you there might be a side effect, this might happen, but you don't know how it's really going to affect you. And the most important thing for me was I had to get here because the show must go on.
So beautifully, powerfully said. So powerfully. And thank you for giving so much. You don't have to share that. And you're sharing that so other people that are going through this know how to deal with it from your experience. So, so beautiful for us all. Today's show, this episode provides clear and simple insights, guidance that reflect the best path for you. Caller, or if you're listening, we do our work so that when you're hearing our voice, the vision of how you can identify, celebrate, and really reconnect to your present, reconnect to your life purpose, and reconnect to your vitality. That's what today's episode, the greatest strength is not to reveal new and dazzling facts, right? Or discoveries, but to remind you through a series of clear explanations for us to really give you resonant metaphors and analogies that return you to the foundation of your own truth, beyond the metaphysical aspects of yourself, right? This is beyond metaphysics. This is beyond the interconnectedness of who you truly are, the being that you are. We do the work every week, week to week, so you can accomplish your life's mission. And so do not be surprised to find yourself nodding your head as and also feeling excited as you tune in to all of what we're going to cover today. This is a call-in show. And so for you listeners to call in 323-524-2599. And so glad that you can call in. We're any kind of anguish, whether it's mental or emotional or even physical, we'll be able to help you attune yourself, for you to be able to identify the unidentifiable or the unseen. It really opens you up. You choose, right, listening, or you choose calling in, or you choose sharing this. And sharing this is probably the greatest fulfillment that you can give yourself. Today's show, we've got so many ways for you to be comforted and connected with, but we've got a special surprise for those of you that share this on social media. It's extraordinary that today's episode, right, is going to provide you not only with wellness. If you share this and you write out to Kitoto, where Kitoto Sunshine Love is also going to give you what we call a spiritual vitamin D session. So we're going to play this reel really quickly, Kitoto, and then I can't wait for you to talk about your sessions.
Okay.
That is so amazing. That is boys to men that you're seeing right there in that video. And incredibly, to write to you, it's right there on the bottom of your screen on your name, Abundance Love 77, right? At
Actually, it's sunlightcreativehealing.com, sunlightcreativehealing77 at gmail.com.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my business email.
Your business email. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Sunlight
that's
Creative Healing 77 at gmail.com.
awesome. Awesome. And so we'll have that go out in the newsletter and put on the event page. If you want to find how to, all you have to do is share this today, take a screenshot that you shared it, and email it to either contact at drsarahlarsen.com on the contact page, or you will find Kitoto's email address on Dr. Sarah Larsen /event page. And so we love you guys so much. We want to help more people. And Kitoto, tell us about a vitamin D session, a spiritual vitamin D session.
So, what I first do is I take all my creature comforts, I guess we would say, and I use those as a way to bring in the angels and bring in the ascended masters. And once I do that, I'm able to hear and I'm able to see and I'm able to sense. And I will ask you a lot of questions. So, because I want to be sure, I'm not just going to tell you about you. That's not my job. You know who you are. So, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. And one of the things that we do is a lot of visualization and a lot of self-love. When you come into a session with me, we might even do a couple of cards just to see what comes up for your first impression, so that I can verify what I'm getting. But mostly it's going to be about taking where you are right now, finding out where you want to be, and getting you there. And I do that through visualizations, angel work. I have these great aura sprays from Amanda Ellis in the UK, and they work. If I spray them on myself, they will work on you. So
you wind up smelling them. It's really profound when you have one of
people,
those. Yeah.
Some people feel it. They feel the essence of the spray. If it's an Archangel Michael, they will feel his presence. If it's a Christ, they will feel his presence. If it's there's so many different color rays that you can use. It's profound, her work that she's done. She's a color therapist.
And what's amazing is you get the transformation you're here, or you set up the session to get, right? Kitoto's trained with and certified in so many areas. And so you'll be able to get the exact change, the exact shift you're ready to get. Kitoto, we're about ready to take callers.
Oh, great.
Yes, yay. So we've got an in-studio producer. We're so grateful for Grace. I mean, don't you just love the name Grace? And there is a grace to this. We're so grateful. Again, please call in. We're standing by to help you. And so let's take our first caller, Grace. Welcome, caller. I'm so excited to hear you. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. Say your name. It's Dr. Sarah Larsen and Kitoto Sunshine Love here for you, love. Go ahead and say your first name.
Hello.
We hear you. We hear your hello. What's your question?
Hi, can you hear us? Are you Laura?
Laura, are you in the house? All right, let's Laura, call back and we'll take you again. We'll take the next caller. I think the next caller is Van.
Hi,
welcome, Van. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Van, can you hear us?
Is this thing on?
We're so glad you're with us. And as we're waiting for a caller or a sound to come on, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. You know who said that? Nikola Tesla. And if you're ever feeling down, it's really important. Anytime there is any negativity that you're feeling, it's really important for you to get. Everything in the dualistic world goes both through the positive and through the negative. Just like Kitoto Sunshine Love was feeling all of these challenges last week, she wasn't sugarcoating it. She wasn't putting frosting on top of it. She brought herself into awareness and said, I've got to get help. And so she shared with someone who'd earned the right to hear her story, right? Brene Brown, someone that teaches, such a beautiful teacher, says create around you people that have earned the right to hear your story, people that care about you, people that you care about. And so Katoto shared what was going on with her, and it wasn't sugarcoated. Everything in the world, everything in life has both a positive and a negative. And if you believe that you must be positive all the time, or you're missing the mark, or you're not spiritual enough, or you haven't done enough work, the truth is everything in existence has both positive and negative. You must feel the negative. And when you're in that space is when you bring in your friends, when you share your illness, ILLNES, turns to wellness, WELLNES, right? If you're going through it on your own, it's illness. If you share it with a beloved, you're bringing in wellness. And initially, were you a little frightened to share what was going on with you?
Absolutely. Because, I thought I was going to have to say, maybe I can't do the show, how long is this going to last? What would you think? This person, here I am, putting her on my show, featuring her, and she's having these issues, do I want this in my life? And excuse me, you have to let that go. You have to let that go and say, okay, well, whatever the results are going to be, I have to be honest. I have to tell her what's going on. And sometimes it can just be a close friend, or it can be a relative, or it can be somebody in your life that, that you trust. But do speak. Definitely
It's
speak up.
so important. And even the suicide helpline. And so many cities have a helpline. You simply dial, it's either 311 or 411, and you find out which government office in your local area can help you. And so they have earned the right to hear. You've earned that by being here. Let's see if we can try and take a caller if our board has been fixed, Grace. We'll try. We'll take the next caller. Welcome, caller. Oh, for whatever reason, we're not getting calls right now.
Isn't that funny the way
It's
that happens?
it's whatever happens there. We're so grateful to be talking about, right? This energy of how you have to be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So in the form of authenticity, there are 4 things that truly matter to being able to fully heal, to fully be a healer, or to fully be a healer, you've got to have gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Which, oh my gosh, there's 4 things. Gratitude. You've got to have certainty. You've got to have presence, and then of course you've got to have love. I've yet to meet a true healer that does not have all 4 of those in place. The first person that taught me that was Dr. DeMartini, who really, I think he's in the Guinness Book of World Records for having read the most books, and he makes consensus, right? He takes metadata And those were the four things. And I want to list them for you again. Look for gratitude in your healers. Look for certainty, presence. They're in the moment with you. And most of all, love. Okay. And you've got all four of those, Kitoto.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. So do you. Like, this woman is pure love.
Aw.
She is pure love. She'll say, you say something that goes wrong, she'll say, that's so beautiful. And you're like, what? How is that beautiful? And she means it. She means it, every word. Everything's beautiful, everything's lovely, everything's wonderful, and every other minute it's yay, yay. She's always happy about something, really grateful. And she walks her talk because she goes out there and she helps the communities in massive ways, and is very, very humble about it. And Miracle Makers also does so many things for the community that if you want to go to the Miracle Makers page and take a look and join, it would be a really great thing to do for your soul, for your heart, to meet like-minded people who want to go out there and better not just their own lives, but the lives of others. And that's how I kind of got introduced to Sarah. That was my vibration. That was what I was doing. And I thought to myself, why am I meeting her now? I don't think I need this in this minute, this second. And I didn't know all the other things she did. I just knew that she was an intuitive, and I thought, oh, well, I don't need to meet another intuitive. But that's why it's important to keep an open mind, that when you're manifesting and you're doing these things to better your life and praying and asking God, the universe, your higher power, whomever it is, to do something in your life, you need to keep your eyes and ears open, because it may appear as a package that you don't think you need, but there's so much more to Sarah than when you first meet her, because she's very humble. So you won't know when you first meet her the diamond that she really is. And so I'm so grateful that I was able to speak with her last week. And anytime I speak with her, I tell her what's really going on with me. And it's amazing because I'm able to gauge what she can handle. And sometimes I'm like, no, she can't handle this, but I'm going to tell her anyway. And every single time she'll tell me a story of somebody she knows or herself, or she'll be completely understanding, and she always has a solution. So last week, not only did I call my medical provider, but we saged. She came back with me to my home, and we saged my home. And it was the new moon, and it was perfect because I had been praying to God about so many things, and that was an answer to my prayer immediately when she took out that sage and said, oh, and it's a new moon. And I was like, oh, wow. So we're bringing in the good energy and the positive energy on this new moon, and it's really important that, to me, that I don't miss any more new moons, because I know what happens during those times. You're bringing in what you're thinking about, what you're focusing on, what you're manifesting, and you don't have to even realize that you're manifesting, but you are. And so it's important to take note of those times and to absolutely cleanse, and to make sure there's no cross of energy. And you want to make sure that you have your own energy in there and the positive energy from the moon. So anyways, that's just one of the things that we did. And I love our callers because they totally understand that lifestyle. They understand that way of thinking. They sage themselves. They sage their friends. When I suggest getting a pyramid from my friend Karen LaGrange, they're like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. I love our callers. I love when you call in. I love to hear your stories. Sometimes it's heartbreaking. I listen and I hear you and I want to cry, or my face is, you can see it on my face that I can hear what you're going through. And then other times there's such happy calls, about, and Sarah will hit the nail on the head, and she'll get it right for you, and tell you, what you wanted to hear when you called in about what is my future going to bring, what is coming up for me. And it's usually always good when you're in this vibration, because if you're calling our show, you've watched Sarah, you've maybe followed me on Facebook, seen some of my posts about angels and ascension. And if you are one of our callers, I just want to say thank you. We absolutely love you. And it's just so great to have people calling in and to have that feedback and to be able to give back in that way. So if you weren't able to get through today, we apologize. There's just a little technical difficulties, but God is in control. So there's always a reason, right?
There's always a reason. And as soon as phone calls come back in, Grace will let us know and we'll be able to take your call. In the meantime, I want to point out Kitoto Sunshine Love, right? At Thanksgiving every year, we are planning a miracle making giveaway for anyone in the homeless community, in our community, that last year, the years before, we've always done something, and it's extraordinary. You can start planning for it now. We do this in Santa Monica. When I first started, but years and years and years ago, one of the first things that I did, I was suffering and struggling, and I got this idea in high school that I was going to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and a Coca-Cola and a banana in there. And I used to go out and hand out lunch bags before school, and I would sometimes do it after school as well. I had formed in high school this thing called Youth Against Starvation. Yes, and Youth Against Starvation. And at one point, this man looked up at me and he said, "Thank you." And when he said thank you, he saw something. We connected on such a soul level that I looked back at him and I said, "You can't outgive God." And in that moment, I knew it was something greater than myself speaking at that moment. Where did those words come from? I'd never read it anywhere. I'd never heard it in a sermon or anything that I'd been part of. You can't outgive God came out through my voice. And I was so grateful to feel that and to speak that. And so I became addicted in service at the greatest level, to find every time we take a caller in, because we do the work, we allow source love to come through us, and we're so grateful for that. And with that, we're ready to take callers again. Welcome, caller. Welcome. We're so glad that you're here.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I still can't hear you, and I can't get you online.
We're hearing you.
Yeah, we do hear you.
I know you can't hear us, so I am telepathically sending you the invisible message. And you are, go ahead and ask your question if we can get that.
Can you ask your question?
We will take the next caller, the one ending in 4619. Welcome back, caller.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah. And so, as we're still working out the technical difficulties, it's so beautiful. You either believe everything is a miracle or it's not. That's according to Einstein. Even the smallest amount of fear will cause your body, your sensation. So last week, what Kitoto was going through, because she's grown this muscle to believe even this is a miracle, she could find herself sharing the story. And she felt safe.
Hi, you've reached Laura. I'm not available to come to the phone, but please leave.
It's so beautiful to be able to have that experience of even that's a miracle. And what's amazing is, as someone who's taken pictures of angels, communicated with angels, shares angels, I know you find feathers, Kitoto, all the time, and signs that your angels are there. The second you put out the transmission that you're ready for a sign, and it'll be unique to you. It'll be so beautiful for you to be able to generate that sign. What does that mean? Generate that sign. when you know you're not alone in the universe, you begin beyond just prayers, you begin sending out communication. Anywhere that you're grateful, anywhere that you're certain, anywhere that you're present, and anywhere that you're loving, life will begin to show you all of those incredible signs. And so, what are some of the miracles or some of the signs that have come in for you? Kitoto mentioned that she got a sign to connect with me, and her mind said, nope, it's not the right time, or I don't need another intuitive. But her heart went ahead and dialed and connected, and thus there it was. That was one of the signs. What are some other signs that you've gotten?
Signs that I've gotten in life. I'll be praying about something, and I'll suddenly see all these people around me that look very familiar, and they're not who I think they are. Like, you ever look at somebody and go, "Is that so and so?" And no, it's not. You're supposed to pray for them at that point. So, I would be praying about something for myself that I wanted, and instead I would receive a sign to pray for others. And that's a big sign. Other times I would be giving up on something that I was like, okay, this isn't. And then all of a sudden there'd be like this huge sign of that situation or that person's name. And other times I would see feathers, like she said. There have been times that there would be something on YouTube that would come on that was exactly the same situation that I was going through and was talking about it. Music, I would be interested in certain artists or something, and then I turn to a lot of the spiritual tribe that I turn to, and on YouTube and other places, and they'd be talking about the same musicians and they'd be talking about the same artists and the same, sometimes the same songs, but they'd be talking about the same artists. And that was a huge sign for me. I was like, okay, this is somebody that I'm supposed to stick with. We're connected here. There's a connection, and this is something that I'm supposed to listen to and keep an eye and ear open to this vibration. And one of the vibrations that's been amazing has been Mary Morrissey. When I went to one of her Dream Builder live conventions, she suggested that I ask the group that I was with how to reach my vision, and they had a suggestion, and that suggestion led to me taking a class, which led to me meeting a person, which led to me meeting Dr. Larsen. So when it was on that vibration, I was like, oh, okay, I think I can trust this, because this always leads to something. And so you have to kind of follow your gut and follow your heart at the same time. And it will tell you, you'll know inside what healer, what coach, what program, what belief system is really resonating the best for you in your body. And your body always knows what's best for you. And so it's important that you just kind of take a step back, close your eyes, and don't overthink it. If you got a sign, you got a sign. And one of my favorite signs, actually, is when I'm walking around and I think I see somebody that I know, and then it's not that person, and then I know to pray for them. That's something really special to me.
It's really, really special. Yeah. Our relationships are really, really special. And Miracle Makers, the whole community. If let's see if you can try calling in again. That number 323-524.
Hello?
Hi. 2599. Hi, Laura. It's so funny. I think we're meant to talk to you today. Can you hear us? I think Laura is, I think we're talking to her. Maybe we'll be able to hear her. Some of the most amazing miracle makers that have come through. One of them is Charlie Pacello. And I see that he's watching on Facebook. And Charlie Pacello, when he came into the office and came in, we really highlighted in conversation that he held a vibration, a really high vibration on Dr. David Hawking's scale of consciousness. This beautiful scale, this beautiful doctor found that if that you're either giving out energy or you're absorbing from the environment energy. When you are at the level of courage, you are giving energy out from your body out to the environment. So if you're afraid of something and you begin saying, "Oh, I'm afraid of this," to people around you, if you have the bravery to share the story of who you are with your whole heart, you're putting out about 200 units of consciousness. Charlie had a really, really high level of consciousness that was available to him. At the time that we met, he was going through the roughest post-traumatic stress soul disorder. And what's really beautiful is fast forward several years, he met with the Pope. He helped, this miracle maker helped rewrite the mission statement for Lebanon, for the Lebanese, for those coming in from Syria, for the refugee camps, for the church. And someone with the highest vibration is asked to do that. And he could finally, right, embody the high vibration that he was. For you caller, for you listener, for each one of us, you came into this physical body with a frequency, with a vibration, with a consciousness. And when you allow yourself to be courageously seen, you allow that consciousness to begin to be realized. We are mammals. You're a physical mammal. Kitoto's not meant to do it alone. I'm not meant to do it alone. You're not meant to do it alone. And so the courage to ask for and receive all of that grace. So it's so beautiful. And you mentioned some of the other things that we, Marie Espinoza, right? Marie, Miracle Makers, when we first started, were feeding about 40 homeless people a week. Marie took the program We Eat to Live, and she went on to feed, she's now feeding 1,000 people a week. Some of our education programs, we started with just a few children in a small schoolhouse, and now we're up to hundreds of children and feeding their families and giving them access to therapy that's designed to make them feel connected to each other, and if there was trauma, to process that trauma, to truly be present. Kitoto, you do so much on an individual level as well. Like, I'm going to call it the 311 guy, the homeless man that you met. And
Oh,
yes.
yeah. I forgot. It's so funny when you said that. Excuse me. You said you do so much on a personal level. I was like, I do, I do, and I didn't even realize. Yes, I like to minister to people, and I always know when to do it. You know, if you just, God will put somebody in front of you, and you just minister to them. You're going to have a message. You're going to have a story that is going to help them. You're going to be able to reach them because he placed them right there. And there was a gentleman who was sitting outside with a sign, and it was something about, feed me please, and something about God. And I drove by, and I was looking for a parking spot, and I said to myself, I'm going to give him $11. This is all I have in cash. And I was able to give more. I was able to do more, and I was able to give more. And it was after talking with him and seeing what he needed and what was going on in his life. And it's always really beautiful when you can do that. It just makes your day that much better. You feel so much better inside, and so did he. I could tell, and he told me so. He was very grateful. And so it makes you feel good, so why not do it? And one of the things that I do is although it's very interesting, if I may tell this story. I came across a homeless man that I gave money to, and his reaction broke my heart. I went inside my home and I went to my piano and I wrote another verse and section to a musical that I'm working on. And I put it in the song instead of calling somebody up and saying, "Oh, I can't believe this just happened," or instead of judging him and his reaction, I put it in the song why it might be that reaction. And it's probably not that reaction. It might not be that reaction, but to me, it was important for me to really get in touch with why somebody might do something that would hurt me so much, right? And so I put that in my music. And that's one of the things that we can do. A lot of people don't like to reach out to the homeless because they say that they're going to use it on drugs, or they say that it's not safe, or they say many different things. But the truth is that you can always trust your intuition. You can trust your gut. 9 times out of 10, it's possible. It's just possible that maybe when you walk by and you give that person $1 or you give that person $5, they might just say, "Wow, thank you. You made my whole day." That might be the reaction. It's possible. So it's also possible you could have another reaction, and then you can go home and you can write a song about it.
You can go home and write a song about it. And creativity is the best use of pain. That research has shown in my own life, if you can get creative. When my grandmother passed away, I reached deep inside myself and I said, "Oh, I'm going to go out there and teach her teachings." And of course, it's so beautiful. It led to a whole new experience of life. We had a caller call in, and it's beautiful because we're able to see their questions. This is dear caller that called in about the miscarriage. It's incredible, that level of love that source energy has for you. It's amazing because this was a very difficult pregnancy to lose, and it's very hard to know what's in store for you, especially with the emotions that you're going through right now. And what Source is communicating about your pregnancy, the first thing is you did nothing wrong. It's really important for you to hear. And I remember when I wound up pregnant with my daughter, I was in so much joy. I always wanted to have a child. And your body is tuning into your body. Your body is ready. Your body is capable. There used to always be this fear that you wouldn't be able to have a baby, or process and have more than just pain around that desire. And so this is confirmation that you get pregnant again. This is, you will. And there is this energy. It's not just one, but 2 babies in the field. I believe you're going to choose to stop at the one more coming in into your life. And so, yes, you will get pregnant. Yes, the energy of that one is so strong. You want it so much. Source loves you so much. Source loves all. It's us. It's you, me. So we choose to judge ourselves, or we choose to judge another, or we're so hurt that we dim our own light. And so we don't feel the flicker of Source that's always available, that miracle frequency. You've got it. And there is a baby that really is coming through you and wants to be created, co-create life with you, co-create all of the most beautiful art that we can make. Is each one of our songs is music as a child. Each one of our podcasts or TV shows is a child. Each one of our businesses. And then also our fur babies. And when you get a human life inside your belly, whoa, there's a sign you can get pregnant. And that next part of really bringing it forward and birthing it, your guides, your body source is saying, yes, you can have another. This was such a powerful, incredible show. What stands out for you from this one?
From this show, what stands out is the fact that no callers could get through today. It's so funny. I guess Spirit really wanted us to talk about some things that there's somebody out there who needed to hear about, some signs. Somebody needed to hear. They needed to see their own signs, and they needed to be able to trust that, and they needed to be able to feel it inside. So that's what I believe.
That's what I believe as well. Kitoto, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. For anyone that was trying to call in today or anyone catching this show right now, do you want to do a Zoom with me this Sunday?
Sunday. What do I have Sunday? Can I check my phone?
Sure. This is, I will do a call for, if you go into Miracle Makers Academy or to drsarahlarsen.com, my commitment is to always make myself available at least once a week to be able to solve those problems, challenges, whatever you're going through. And so this Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, Miracle Makers and Dr. Sarah Larsen and Kitoto, are you available on Sunday?
Available, yeah.
Yes, and Kitoto Sunshine Love at 4 p.m. Pacific. This Sunday, we will do the calls and answer your question, make sure that you have that space for whatever was challenging you. My schedule only allows me to take 26 clients at a time. We've got a great group on Miracle Makers Academy that keeps you connected, and we do this weekly because we love you and we want you to have the resources that you need. You go to Dr. Sarah Larsen and you hit contact, and we're so happy to answer and help in any way that you need help, whether it's for Kitoto or for myself. Our team will get with you and be able to help you and answer your questions. Kitoto, thank you for sharing your journey and for sharing that story. That was so beautiful.
Thank you. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to and the platform to share it, because my heart really does go out to people like me who've been going through that, and also people who go through other things. You can take the advice that I'm giving about this situation and superimpose it onto what you're going through. And I know that there's somebody out there that needed to hear it, and there may be people in the future. So please do share this show, because it's important to me, those little taboo things that we don't talk about, that we should really talk about those things, because you need to get it out. You need to be able to get out of your headspace and get back into connectedness with somebody else, so that you know that people aren't judging you and that you really can get the help that you need, and especially contacting your medical provider and getting that support from your doctor or nurse practitioner, or whomever it is that you do see. So, yeah, this has been a great show.
Great show.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. And we will see you next week. Same place. And our hearts are with you.
Thank you. We love you.
Thank you.